Along with a few other pretty random things, I also collect bottle caps from beer bottles, sodas, and hard ciders. And I needed about 100 for a new project. So on a pretty lazy Sunday afternoon, I just got in my comfy chair with my dog at my feet, put on a pretty mindless Hallmark movie channel, and got to work flattening these out, folding them in half, so that I had about probably about 100 folded in half just like this. I used a lot of blues and some reds. When we tore down our back wooden fence this summer, I kept a lot of the fence boards to use in various projects. I've cleaned them and sanded them and got them ready for various projects. You've seen me use these in various videos. This board is about 16 inches long. Now, after going through the initial frustration of how in the heck am I going to use these folded bottle caps to make a Christmas tree, I finally sort of thought out a good formula. I've got my heat gun plugged in, it's nice and warm, and I'm going to get to work gluing these down into a Christmas tree shape. So now that I have an idea in my head how this is all coming together, I'm just putting a little thin bead of glue along the back side of each one of these little folded caps. And these are really cute. They really have the right shape that I needed for a Christmas tree branch. I have used caps in whole form before. I made a tree last year using caps that were just, the round caps, not folded. And it turned out okay, but I wanted something a little bit more abstract and a little bit more, I don't know, something that would look more like a branch. So I'm using mostly blues in this bottom layer, and these are caps from various brands of beer. I'm not going to name them. You can see them in the video. And this is purely random. I have friends that send me and save the caps for me from various beers and ciders and sodas and mixers and probably a few sparkling waters too. So once I have the basic shape, the bottom layer, I'm just going to add a few more on top. Actually, first I'm adding the gold ones, the gold and red, along the bottom to form a trunk. So we do have a trunk. And then I'm just adding the second layer and then probably a third layer to just fill in the gaps and give my tree a little bit more depth and make it kind of fat and chunky. I don't want to fill all the gaps, but I also want my tree to look nice and full, just like a tree would out in nature. And right now it's looking pretty good. I didn't count all of them, but I think I probably used maybe 100 bottle caps. Some of these are from beers from the Bahamas that we just picked up on our summer travels. I see a couple of Mexican beers in there. I see a couple of hard ciders in there. I really like those red ones on the left-hand side, but I am saving those for something special that you will see in just a minute. And y'all know that I have tinkeritis, which is a very real disease. So I'm only slightly obsessed with adding more and just one more and maybe just one more and maybe just one more. And I think, nope, just one more. I think that I'm done. Nope, there's another one. That one was loose, so that one doesn't count. That one was loose too. Now, there goes another one. But I needed color. I needed to add a little bit of color, right? But I really do want my tree to be nice and fat and fluffy. I want it to have layers and shape and chunkiness. It's all about the chunkiness. Do you recognize any of these brands? I know you recognize one, at least one. But maybe a few. Let me know in the comments if you recognize any of these bottle caps. All right, so I think that that's probably going to be the final few. I'm just trying to add some color too, and some different ones, just so it's not so monochromatically blue. Is that a word? Monochromatically? Well, we just made it a word. I like the silver ones too. All right, now the top, I want to make a star, because every tree needs either an angel or a star, and sometimes I use turtles. But I'm using these. It's one of my favorite brands. And I'm going to make a star for the top of our tree. And the hot glue works really well on this one. It is leaving a lot of the strings, and I know now that I can use a hot glue, or not a hot glue gun, I'm using a hot glue gun. I know now that I can use my heat gun to melt all these little annoying strings. Oh my God, they're so annoying. I know now that I can use the heat gun to melt these, but at the time that I made this, I didn't know. So I'm using a little tiny wire brush to kind of brush all of the annoying little strings off. But now I know I can use my heat gun. And I'm not really worried about this one being perfect, because I'm not going to sell it at my art show. I am making this one for a friend, and it's really kind of it's a little Christmas gift, but it's kind of a I don't know, a funny haha Christmas gift. It's for a white elephant gift exchange that we're gonna have this Saturday, and I just think it's adorable. Let me know in the comments if you think you might want to give this a try, or if you think this is just a total disaster, but I really like it. I think it's cute. Let me know what you think, guys. Bye, friends.